All right, y'all. We're here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 10, episode 17. I know that I'm kind of late, but this episode really wasn't worth a damn, to be quite honest. And the season finale is next week, which I am kind of glad because for this to be season 10, this season was kind of lackluster for the most part. But anyways, we have Cynthia and Kenya. They're meeting up at the Bailey agency. And I'm like, oh, we finally get Kenya again after how many episodes? But she was with Mark in Chicago. And y'all know how Kenya does. She be going on and on and on about him or whatever. But then, Kenya is asking, Cynthia, how is Nene doing, since she's been taking off, Candy's tour and everything? Like, how she's doing with that. So Cynthia is like, well, she already had to deal with, Master Kim and her bullshit, trying to sue her for defamation of character and everything. And Kenya is like, Kim got a motherfucking nerve, okay? Because as much shit that she be saying about people or whatever, this, that, and the third, like, she should be the last person trying to sue for defamation and everything. And it's like, yeah, we already know how Kim do. Kim sit up here and do a whole bunch of shit to people, but then be acting like as if she just always the victim and people just always picking on her. Like, child, please, but we ain't gonna get into all that. Y'all already know how I feel about Kim. So Kenya still wants to do like the whole PSA thing for domestic violence. You guys remember when the ladies had came together and did the video and shared their experiences or whatever, this, that, and the third. But she wants to do like this actual event to screen the PSA or whatever, and have some ladies, some domestic violence survivors at the event as well. So then we have Candy, and she's talking to Don Juan, and Candy lets him know that, she done brought another property and everything. And I think they were saying that the property is like a recycle place or something like that. And he's like, what you know about recycling or whatever? And she's like, shit, who said that I was going to keep it as a recycling place? Like, I just brought the property. Like, turn it into something else. You know what I mean? So Don Juan, he says to her, now, didn't I tell you not to be buying no more properties right now? Like, you just brought the restaurant 6 months ago, but y'all know how Candy is. She's, a go-getter, go hard, go home. And that's kind of one of the things I've always liked about Candy is that she always has taken risk. And, sometimes she wins, sometimes she loses, but, she keeps on pushing and she doesn't give up when it comes to, business, when it comes to business and everything. And that's, like I said, that's something that I've always kind of liked about her. So then, Todd comes in asking, what y'all talking about or whatever. So Don Juan is pretty much saying the same thing that he, was saying to Candy. And, he's like, shit, like, Oprah didn't have just one job or whatever. And, which is true, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's just that, go hard or go home, mentality. So then they go into like another room and, Candy talks about how her and Nene have come a long way, and yeah, we know that they have come a long way. And how she kind of fought for her to stay on the tour and everything. You know what I mean? And she wanted to call Nene herself or whatever to, tell her, I guess, about what was going on or whatever. And, I guess Nene was saying that she was okay or whatever, this, that, and the third. But then, like, right after, Nene got on social media. You guys remember that video with Nene crying about, the situation that happened or whatever, this, that, and the third. So, Todd thinks that Nene had a right to respond. He's like, she's a comedian. And it's like, now, like I said before, the heckler was wrong for sitting up here telling Nene, to kill herself or whatever, this, that, and the third. But, like I said before, when you're in the public eye and you're trying to be a comedian, you have to know how to handle hecklers like that. Like, you should have joked on her hair or her outfit or her shoes or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before, I understand her being upset and everything, but I just cannot see my mind just going that far left and bringing like rape into the situation. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's business. They had to do, it was the right thing to do to, take her off the tour because it wasn't going to be a good look or whatever. But, and Todd was also saying how, the president says way worse shit and he's still in the White House. I mean, which is true, but that's a whole nother subject that we ain't even fixing to get on. But yeah. So, anyways, we have Sheree. She's still getting work done to the Chateau. And Tyrone calls her. And she's telling him about the basement. I guess he wanted to do the basement when he got home or whatever. But she's like, but I decided, she's like, I can't wait or whatever. I decided to take upon myself to do it and everything. And, he's like, yeah, because that's my main cave or whatever, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, okay, jailbird Tyrone. So, anyways, he's telling her not to stress out or whatever. And, she's like, but listen, there's still plenty more here for you to do, to work on when you come home and everything, like getting me a beach house or whatever. And he's like, yeah, leave something for me to do. And I'm just like, with what money? Like, with what money? You know what I'm saying? But okay, so anyways, then they're talking about like a wedding and all this other stuff, and I was just like I ain't even care. I ain't even care no more. So then we have Nene. She's playing pool with Brent or whatever, and she's asking him what he plans on doing after school and everything, and he's like, I might go to Florida and hang out or whatever. And she's like, it ain't no just hanging out, and he's like, well, you might need an extra person on your tour or whatever, this, that, and the third. And she's like, listen, I'm the only leaks on my tour, okay? And he doesn't want to go to college, and she understands that. She, her aunt pushed her to go to college, but that's not something that she really wanted to do. And she's like, I'm not going to push you to go to school if that's not something that you want to do, but you got to have a career, because there's nothing worse than waking up just having a regular job that you don't want to go to or whatever, this, that, and the third. And she gives him advice about being a comedian, and the things that she had to endure and learn and suffer the consequences from or whatever, this, that, and the third. So then we have Kenya again, and she's at a hair salon, and she brings in 10 survivors of domestic violence, into the salon to get their hair and their makeup done. And some of the ladies donated, some of the girls donated some of, like, their nice gowns or whatever for these ladies to wear to the PSA event or whatever. And one of the ladies was sharing her story with Kenya and what she went through and everything, and about it being the cycle and how you have to stop the cycle and all this other stuff. And yeah, and like I said before, I do like the fact that Kenya does give back. And yeah, that's one thing I do like about her, that she does give back, and that she does try to put effort into the things that she does. So yeah, so then we have Sheree, and she's at home with her youngest daughter Callie, and she's making breakfast for her. Callie's home from school, and they're talking about school. And Callie is asking Sheree pretty much about Tyrone. Let's cut to the chase. She's pretty much asking him about Tyrone, asking how they met or whatever, and when we gonna meet him. And she's like, oh, well, he's in prison right now. And Callie is like, huh? So you're gonna date a man from jail? And she's like, there's a lot of fish in the sea, and you mean to tell me you done resorted to dating a man in jail? I said, I mean, Callie, girl, we all saying the same thing, especially at your mom's age or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And Sheree sitting up here talking about something. I mean, well, sometimes you gotta be there for people when they down. And it's just like, it's one thing if you was with him for like a few years or if you was married to him. Girl, you met him before, like way before obviously he went to jail or whatever, but you didn't like know him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wasn't in no serious relationship with him or nothing like that, or you wasn't married to him to be. I can't. Like, I can't, whatever. So she's hoping that he'll be home in the next few months or whatever. And I said, we'll keep on hoping because his ass is still locked up. Anyways, but yeah, Callie said, I mean, well, I'ma just keep an open mind or whatever. So then we have, Kenya's event. Shamia and Portia are the first ones to show up. Portia hasn't really talked to anybody except for Nene since, the whole Barcelona trip. Then, Cynthia shows up with her mom because you guys remember Cynthia's mom participated in the PSA. And then Kenya, she shows up. Then Sheree follows behind, and Sheree is like, are we gonna meet Mister or whatever tonight? And Kenya is like, no, he's working and everything, and this, that, and the third. So then, Nene shows up, and then the last to show up, right, pretty much right behind Nene is like, Candy. And Nene says that her and Candy are fine, which I already knew or whatever, that they were okay. So yeah, because it would have been really stupid had they, went backwards because of something like this. Because I mean, it's nothing personal. It is just business. You know what I mean? And then like I said, Nene was out of line for saying that shit, But Kenya starts to give like a speech or whatever, and that's when Mr. Daly shows up. Her husband shows up or whatever. And I remember seeing pictures of him in the blogs. He's a nice looking dude or whatever. I have seen some people say that he looks kind of zesty, or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys feel he looks zesty and everything? I mean, he's a handsome guy or whatever, but I don't know. Do you guys feel he kind of zesty looking or whatever? Y'all, let me know. But, everybody, they looking, they like, oh, well, it's about time we get to meet him and everything. And, Sheree gonna sit up here talking about some, I don't know if he's her real, husband or not, but he's, real and everything. And I'm like, shut up, Sheree. At least her man ain't, in prison. Unlike yours. Unlike Jailbird Tyrone, okay? Girl, I could not. But anyway, like she really just got her nerve, okay? But anyway, so after the PSA video, Kenya introduces him to the ladies and everything, and then Sheree, she being shady as fuck, talking about some, asking Kenya's husband, where did he get his nose pierced or whatever. And it's so funny because I never noticed his nose was pierced in the pictures that I seen, unless I just wasn't paying attention enough. But yeah, he got like a little stud or whatever. I think he could do without it, but whatever. But yeah, so she's asking where did he get his nose pierced or whatever because she want hers done. I said, now, bitch, you know damn well you don't want no damn nose piercing. You just want to be shady and just be nosy or whatever. But, he's like, I mean, yeah, I got it pierced up in New York and everything at this place, yada, yada, yada. And Sheree is like, I haven't really seen a guy with the nose ring since Tupac or whatever. And I'm just like, so we're going to act like Chris Brown don't got his nose pierced? And a lot of other guys got their nose pierced. That don't mean that they're gay or nothing like that. Because, I mean, that's what it seemed like she tried to imply. I was just like, girl. Like, I could not. But anyway, so, like, she gets on my nerves. I heard that they dragged Kim at the reunion. They need to drag Sheree's ass, too. But anyways. So, Nene is happy that Mark finally came around or whatever, and the producer, one of the producers, going to ask Nene in the confessional, "Do you think they're truly in love or whatever?" And Nene says, "I think Kenya is." I ain't gonna lie, looking at Kenya and Mark. Now I know, like, you have a lot of couples who are not like just like real affectionate in public and stuff like that. But something did just kind of seem weird with their vibe and everything. I will admit that. Something just, it didn't seem authentic. But I mean, like I said, if she happy, then hey, it is what it is. So, Nene and Portia, they're having a conversation about Nene's situation or whatever, and, about accountability and, blase, and, Nene kind of looking at Portia like, okay, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not get on you, but that was the episode, you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, and I'll be back in here in a few for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in a little bit.